Invincible Season 3, Episode 4. This episode is not as big as last week's episodes, but it does have some big reviews. Not reviews, reveals. Spoilers for this episode. Let's get into this one. So basically, this episode, Mark, we kind of deal with the cliffhanger really quickly after last week's episode, which is that, there's a bomb. Mark immediately just assumes it's Cecil, and that was spying on him, and it wasn't, but it kind of would make sense that it was, and Cecil admits that, hey, we are fucking spying on him. But yeah, this episode, from there just moves on real quickly. Our guys from earlier in the season who stole the Declaration of Independence are like, hey, we'll give it back. You go back through with us through time in the future. And I think this is an alternate future, I'm assuming. But basically, in the future, Immortal is fucking done. He's a king, and Mark murders him because he wants to be murdered. Okay, yeah, I was pretty sure. And then they just kind of, and then from there, Mark murders him, feels bad, talks to Eve, and that's kind of the episode. There's not really anything else going on in this episode except for that, which is for a moment there, I thought that the shock of Mark murdering another person would be more shocking, but it really isn't. And I think it isn't because at this point, maybe we're all just desensitized to it. I mean, we had Oliver murder somebody. We had a couple weeks back, last season, Mark murdered people. It is getting to the point where the violence is getting to us just like it's getting to Mark, and making us maybe a little desensitized to it. I'm kind of curious what's happening next with that. So, but yeah, Eve calms him down, makes him feel better, and that's interesting. So I'm curious what's going to happen next. The big reveal of this episode is basically our Seth Rogen alien character, whatever his name is, I'm forgetting his name, breaks him and Mark's dad, Omni-Man, break out, and they are working on a plan to stop the Viltrumites, which you already knew, but you see that Mark's father is finally getting through that he loves Debbie, he misses her, and he is really starting to become more human. A little too late, buddy, but good later, I guess, better than ever. But anyways, he's kind of working through those issues, and in this episode, by the end of it, the big reveal is that there's only 50 pure-blooded Viltrumites left, which is like, they're like, we could beat them, which we saw how bad the other Viltrumites were, so I don't know about that, but fucking wild review right there. So we'll see what happens with that next later on, but yikes. That's still a lot of Viltrumites if you ask me. Let me know your thoughts, like, share, and subscribe.